Yep, yeah. Eagles wear boxes, baby, baby. Baby, baby. Y'all know what it is, man. Yeah, yeah, that's Eagle always making some noise, always doing something, always doing something real. Because this is live, so of course you do something live. You ain't got no production team and all that. Of course you do stuff. Things happen. You know, ish happens sometimes. So that's what this what it is. It is what it is, and it is what it is. What it is, baby. That's what it is. Yeah. But yeah, just I'm not even gonna get into the topic right offhand. I see y'all did, Derek Bailey. Salute to you. Um, we're gonna get off into the topic like right offhand. A lot of times I do, but well, most of the time I always have like some kind of setup story or something like that. But this is I don't even really want. I don't even know if I want to do a follow up from where we were going. The grown talk that we had going the last show, man. That's a lot of that stayed on my mind because I was wondering, did I cover it the right way or did we talk about it, the proper way? Because you see today, and I don't even look at the news, but then you always see that. I mean, I see little flashes of what people write. People are like, oh yeah, that Trump is celebrating, and a lot of people is calling that little act that they set off the other day. They're calling it a treasonous act and all that. I don't know. I don't know if it's called treason. I just call it just being stupefied stuff. That's all. Um, I have no trust. I just had this conversation again this morning. It's like, why is this conversation just staying with people? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, Derek, but maybe you can help me out. Maybe you or somebody just popping in that can help me out. And I appreciate y'all getting rid of people that call me by my name. You know what it is? Now I'm trying to figure this out, Derek Bailey. I don't know if you agree with me or not, or whoever's in here. I don't know if you agree or not. But I'm starting to think that these people I used to deal with, maybe they were mods that got cut, or maybe they used to mess with us at different forums and stuff at maybe somebody else's show or something like that. Because there's no way. Because the thing about this, now listen, I never mention my name the whole time when I do a show. I never mention my name. So guess what? If you come in with my name, that means that you must be familiar with me in one sense or another. You have to be. You have to be familiar with me somehow. And so that's the dead giveaway right there. Is you're being familiar by coming in saying my name as soon as you get here. See? As soon as you get here. It has to do with something, man. They have to. There's no when you say possibly, Derek Bailey, it has to be more than a possibility. It has to be more than plausible. Think about it. If I never seen you before, let's say for instance your name is not Derek Bailey. Let's say that you weren't Derek Bailey. I've I wrote to you before, so I'm just saying. But if somebody knows, let's say for instance your name was Anthony, and you were doing a show, and you never mention your name, you don't ever say your name, and somebody just comes in and says Anthony, and then they say something out of pocket. You know what I mean? Like way out of line. You know good and damn well that there's somebody that's familiar with you somehow. It could be different things. It could be family members messing around with you, or it could be just a troll, or it could just be somebody that, just didn't like you from somewhere else for no reason. Because usually I know if they're not going to like you, or they're not going to like some of the people that I like, it's because of hate. Because one thing I say about you, and just appreciating, and just like getting emails back from you, and just hearing from you and here, one thing I know about you is that you're a positive type of person. You know what I mean? A proper person. You don't just be just going off. You know what I mean? It's like y'all get like kind of in a certain way when ego get pressed. You know what I mean? Like ego get pressed and how many times have you seen me really get pressed? Y'all don't really see me get pressed that much. But sometimes if you see ego get pressed, like if you was just coming in and I was already pressed, you'd be like, oh shit, who the hell is touching all them buttons on ego? That's what you're going to say. If you was just getting here and you seen that, that's what you're going to say. You're going to be like, oh shit, somebody got ego started. You know what I mean? Because usually we just try to keep it going. We just keep it flowing. I'm not going to say very much. I'm going to try to stay on topic. You know, it's all we always try to stay on top. And, you know, of course, we're going to talk. Topic for us could be anything. But most time you never see me. People took me wrong. Like back in the day, always took me wrong a lot of times. But then I have people like you who was with me from day one. This following, you know, just following along on the Eagle's web. Y'all just following along like, okay, Eagle, okay, go with Eagle. Yeah, this. I said y'all got to bypass a lot of the, you know, the harshness sometimes. Like, oh, he's not grumpy. He's not harsh. You got to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, then if you just come, like if you just drop down. I see you out there, y'all, sir. Salute to you. If you just drop down and you just drop down the web and you're just listening like in the middle of something, then he's just going off about nothing. He's just ranting and raving and nothing. But you didn't hear the beginning. You didn't hear the beginning, so that's all you heard. And y'all sir haven't been here as long as you have, but y'all sir know. And y'all sir, as soon as he came to the chat, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be down with this chat." And he might not have came in the beginning of a show. But maybe he heard a little harshness or something. He said, "Oh yeah, this guy like, okay, he's kind of harsh or whatever that, or maybe I'm not getting him." But then he got used to everything. Now he gets used to it. He knows that I'm not the one that's on. This should be labeled with that jerk stamp. You know what I mean? And that discussion we had, man, was just, I don't know, man. That discussion that we had is just a discussion. I talked to somebody about that today, and it's like, we came to the conclusion that it's not something you can really cover. But with me, you guys know I do breakdowns. I try to do like the simplest breakdown on everything, even when it comes to boxing, life, whatever. But we'll start simple. Then we have to gather ourselves, and we have to like, okay, that was one step. Like the other day we talked about that was one step. But then there's another step to it also. And so let me tell you, this is what came up. So I asked the question. I said, just say for instance that jail, you are the owner or you are the beneficiary of any type of monetary gains that a jail makes. Let's say for instance your jail houses 5,000 people, but you're not even halfway to capacity. You only got 2,000 in jail, right? But you're getting benefited. What do you need to do in order to get more money? What has to happen in order for you to get some monetary gain out of that jail? What has to happen? See, a lot of people don't understand it like that. Everything is a business, man. Everything is a business. And I know I gave that to you so you can give the answer to yourself. You can answer out, or you can just see that information. See, when I give it to you like that, then you're gonna answer it. You're gonna be, okay, I see where he's going, or I know that already, or I see what he's doing. See, because we miss everything, and that's why we got to understand that whole we can forget the A side, B side. It's about money. It's not, it's about money. It's not our money, but that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Whoever, and I'm not saying any kind of structure that you know of, or this. When I say structure, I mean any kind of a structure that you know of that is mentioned and that is familiar with everybody. Like say for instance, you mentioned the government. If you mention the government, then everybody's going to be familiar with that government. Maybe they're not familiar with all those policies and stuff, but they're going to recognize that government. If you said UK, you'd be okay. Yeah, I know what that is. I know a little bit about it. I know Parliament. I know this. I know that. You understand? So you'll understand that part. So it's not necessarily something that you would understand. Hope I'm making that clear. It's not necessarily something that you understand, but what it is whoever's in charge. And I'm not saying that any type of municipality or anything. I'm not saying that any government. I'm not saying that they are the ones. So I'm trying to clue you in, but at the same time, I'm not trying to divulge. You understand? So I'm saying whoever really is in charge, we don't know. Because you can't be in control of money and you can't be in charge of money. Anytime that you owe any amount of money, then you can't be the one that's in charge. You see how simple that is? That's simple, but that's global. That's simple. Listen to how simple that is. If you owe money, then you definitely cannot be in charge of money. Think about it. If you owe money, like say, when I say owe money, that means everybody. That means from every level. That's going all the way down to a person on the street, all the way up to the heads, all the way up to a state, all the way up to a government. If you owe money, then you're definitely not in charge of money. You understand what I'm saying? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying, because I can't, in this forum, I can't break all that down, but because I'm dealing with grown folk in here, then I can say it this way, and then the research can be done, or further investigation can be done, to where I don't have to, actually bring it all out in here. But I hope that made sense. If that made sense to anybody, put up a 1. If that made sense. That if you owe money, you're not in charge of money. If you owe money. You're not really the money man if you owe money. If you don't owe any money, and that still doesn't mean that there's levels to it. That still doesn't mean that you're the money man, because you don't owe nobody. Because you pay for everything cash doesn't mean that you're in charge of money. But I'm saying it starts low and goes all the way up. Yeah, it starts low and it goes all the way up. A lot of people don't want to hear that, though. Because they say, oh, well, this such, they're going to see, because what people are going to tell you, they're going to tell you, oh, this institution here, or this organization, that's what they're going to tell you. And anytime they tell you that, they're full of you know what. Because if you're in charge of money, let me ask you, just stay right here for just a second. If you're in charge of money, just think about it like this. If you're in charge of money, can you ever possibly suffer from any kind of crash, like a stock market crash or stocks going down? Can you suffer if you're the one in charge of money? Huh? If you're in charge of money, can that ever happen to you? Why would you even think about it? Why are you involved in anything like that? Why are you involved with the play of something that you're in charge of? Because the stock market is a play of cash. It's playing with cash is what it's doing. And if you're in charge of cash, you're not going to play with it. See? So that gives you an idea to go and investigate on your own. That gives you an idea. Wait a minute. It has to be something to what Ego is saying right now. I wouldn't play with it. If I was in charge of money, Derek Bailey and y'all, sir, and whoever else is in here, there's no way in hell I'm going to play with the money if I'm in charge of money. If y'all had to come to me for money, you can play with it, but you still owe me. I'm not going to play with it because I got the stack of money. How much you need, Derek? How many you need? You need 100 stack? Bam, 100 stack. Make sure you get my 100 stack with me. Why do I need to even mess with it? I'm not playing with that, because boom, what you need, y'all, sir? You need 200 stack? Bam, there, 200 stack. You got 200 stack. Long as you get that 200 stack back to me. But why do I need to play with it? Because I'm in charge of all this. This is all mine. Like this, imagine where I'm at. This whole room is just full of nothing but, okay, back in the day they had different denominations of bills above 100. So this whole room is stacked with $50,000 bills. Where I'm at is just stacked with $50,000 bills. You know what I mean? $50,000 bills. Let's say for instance we got $1 billion of them. I'm in charge of money. No, matter of fact, let's put it higher than that. Let's put like 750 billion $50,000 bills. I don't know what the math is on that, but if y'all want to figure it out, you can. $50,000 bills, and I'm in charge of that. So I might hand you one, but I'm stacking everybody. Oh, what you need? Boom, stack. Get it back to me. I'm gonna charge you a certain amount. I'm in charge of the money, but I'm charging you interest. But I'm already in charge of all the money. I have all the money in the first place, but now I'm charging you interest. So you got to grab from somebody else to get back to me. So we're always going to struggle and get money somewhere else to get it back to the rightful owner. You understand what I mean? And I'm not saying you sitting on a mattress full of money like that. No, that's a whole different story. Yeah. But like I said, I try to bring it to all y'all, and I try to keep it like in a grown perspective, but we look at it a little bit different. See, I don't use like a lot of people, oh, they're so high IQ'd and stuff. Nah, you'll never hear me brag about IQ. Yeah, my IQ is like 25. And I know people would argue with that and fight. No, there's no way you could be a 25, your IQ or something. Of course, If you're dumb, then that's what my IQ is. If you're going to say, man, nobody can have an IQ that low because of this and because of that or whatever, then you got to understand why I'm saying that I have an IQ of 25. You understand? You have to understand why is he saying he got an IQ of 25? Because I must have an IQ of 25 if I'm not understanding the same thing that everybody else is understanding. Or maybe even a 10. Because I'm not understanding the things the way that people are understanding it. But then when I express it to somebody, like if I express to my team, I express to the web watchers, they understand it. Now, why are they understanding it? They're understanding something that's coming from somebody that's not understandable. Now, see, that wouldn't make sense, would it? Because he has a 10 IQ, and then maybe they got an IQ, 100, 110, maybe they got a 95 or 85, maybe something like that. But he's a 10, but he's breaking stuff down to them. Why is he calling himself a 10? The reason I call myself a 10 because I don't fit into the normal logic that people have. Because I base stuff off of what I'm seeing and off of common sense. Because I knew growing up, and mostly if you have dad and mom, or even if you just have mom is the money holder. Your mom is the one with the money. She's the one that you either pay back or you don't pay back. But listen, when somebody's in charge of something, if you pay them back or don't pay them back, it doesn't hurt them. That's the whole thing. Because they're in charge of it. So mom's in charge of the money when you're growing up, right? So if you need to give you a few dollars, then you get a few dollars. If you got to give a few dollars back, you give a few dollars back. See? But if you don't, it ain't really going to hurt her. But what it's going to do is going to like put this thing on where she says, well, I can't really trust you because you ain't hitting me back with those funds that I hit you with. Yep. But that's how that works. Regardless of what somebody want to get mad about. Oh no, there's the financial structure. Don't try to play me like that. All the resources and all. This is what they hit you with. That's because you can't explain that to me. Guess why, Derek Buddy? Why you can't explain that to me? The reason you can't explain that to me, and I'm not saying you personally, I'm not picking on you, I'm not anything like that. But the reason you can't explain that to me is because I'm only a 10. I'm going to keep myself as a 10 so I don't get caught up in your financial scheme. The way you say, oh, this is the way that, the gross national product works, and this is how this works, and that's. See, the thing is I'm going to let other people go with that. So they say, oh, yeah, I was making it clear. Because you got all these financial experts, right? They have titles, right? Yeah, when you're a financial expert, when you're a global financial expert, then you have a certain title, right? Right? Because they got the economists, the world economists, and everything else, right? They have all these people. And they start calling them stuff. And you know what thing I don't like, but I understand why they say it. And it's not really, the jargon is not like a legal jargon. And it's not like a jargon that you would actually use in that industry. But when they start saying stuff like guru and wizard, he's a financial wizard. These people are financial gurus and stuff like. See, you have to look at the undertone of that to find out what that is. You see, I don't like that. Anything that has to do with magic, wizardry, and all that. No, just keep me clear of that. Simple question. This is a simple question. We'll go somewhere else too, though. But simple question. If this country itself, say for instance, that we had a shortage just say it was a worldwide shortage. A worldwide shortage on what's a good thing that people have to have or people just gonna have. Okay, something. Okay, let's say coffee. People like to have their morning coffee. Okay, so there's a worldwide shortage of all the countries that do the so-called fair trade. They do trade, right? This is a shortage. Nobody has it, and so nobody wants to trade because they need to keep it. But there's one country that's not involved with the trade, but nothing's wrong with their products and stuff like this. All organic and everything else is. I mean, it's up to the standards. Actually, a higher standard than any other place that you get your products from. What would be the problem of the nations? And I'm not saying none of them would do it. Well, what would be the problem of any of those nations getting stuff from the other country, even though they don't belong to the country club. You understand what I'm saying? Country club. I'm calling it a country club, and because, and I'm not calling out any certain. You know what it is, though. I have to say it this way because then I'll get like the hate monger stuff, or I'll get pulled down or something. They left that one. Believe me, when they took the video down, they left. That's why I'm calling it a club, because you know what they did is they actually left like a little warning. So when I do a video and then I go, like say for instance, I go back to look at this or whatever, if I wanted to take something out, or which I never do, or if I wanted to edit, then I have to. When I go to my page, I have to see it's not red, but I have to see the little orange. And everybody knows when you start seeing orange and red, they know that. See, that's how they signal us. Yeah, sir. Over in America, they give us they start us with green. Usually they start us with green. That green means go, means like, oh, go. You learn that as a baby. So green is go. So anything after green, then we start getting critical. You know, we start getting critical. Now you go to yellow. Yellow means, oh, you get caution. You got to like slow down. Orange is kind of like a double caution. Red is mean you're screwed. And anything above that, you're really screwed. But usually red, if you go by those 4 colors, then that's usually how it goes, like 4 colors. You know, you could have other colors, but usually that red is a stop for anything. Even when your car stops, that's a red. You get that red light. But they changed that to yellow because yellow is they know that's just a warning. So newer cars have a yellow warning light. And so they condition us that way ever since we're little. They condition us with all these little colors and stuff like that. So we always know color. And a lot of times you're self-conscious, you're not even thinking about it. You get a color, a color will pop up. And you get alerted for no reason. And you can be driving and all of a sudden you see a yellow or something. You get all cautious. It's like this has nothing to do with you. But you still get cautious. Why are you getting cautious? Because that programming, right? And so they program. Oh yeah, what you want to do when you what kind of business degree you want? Administration. A lot of people want administration. A lot of people want management. And a lot of people some people want global. You see what I mean? Every one of those is a tier, like, for money. But they still never hit the top where we talked about. We started out the topic about that the person who actually has the pockets with the money. Yeah. But they got us. They flagged the crap out of us though. They just flagged us from birth. Okay, red. Okay, oh, you all cautious. Because I see myself like is a flashing yellow or something, I'm all looking like, oh, what the hell's going on? Especially at night because you really don't see as good. Like, is it a pothole or is it something? What's going on? And that flashing yellow part might not even have nothing to do with you. It's not even nowhere near you, but you're like breaking your neck to see who's yellow, red, or something. You're all picking your neck up. If it's blue, then you can go down another block or something. I don't want to get caught up with the blue. So they got us. They have us to where we look at the blue, we want to go a whole different way. You see that blue, it's all over with. But let me get to y'all, man. Salute to Derek Brady. Salute at Eagles Way of Boxing. Then, of course, he said possibly. They said, yeah, they know how they know you somehow. Yep, of course they know me some way. Yep. And then Derek Brady again from our previous conversation. He says, not many. That's right. Y'all, sir, who says salute to Eagle in the chat. Salute back to you again. Salute at Derek Bailey. Salute at Yasser Hussein from Derek Bailey. And then Derek Bailey again. He said a lot of people can't have grown folk talks. That's right. A lot of people, they can't have them. But guess what? We can't have them. If they come in here and they can't have grown folks talk, then we can't have them in here. Derek Bailey said, that's it. If you need to get that jail full, you got to lock people up. And take it further than that, then you got to you got to trump some people up, some kind of charges or some shit, to get them in there so you can get that money. He said insensitive. He's to the judges to give harsh sentences. There's another one. There you go. If you make the incentives for judges to do that, of course they don't act like they won't do it. And who knows what judges we're talking about? We're blind. You're talking to somebody with a 10 IQ. So there's no way I could be talking about anything there's no way I could be talking about anything that makes any kind of real sense. It just makes sense to the people that come in here and mess with me. I can't be talking about something that makes a whole lot of like real sense because hey, I'm only a 10. Well, you expect a person with a 10 IQ is because the reason my IQ is 10 because I can't see stuff your way. I'm not going to be able to see it the normal way. Once you're exposed to certain stuff, you can't see it another way. I can't unsee certain. There's certain stuff you can't unsee. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. You cannot unsee certain stuff especially if you're right there. I mean, I've been in so many. I've been in traumatic situations, man. I've been in like real serious situations, and you can't unsee it. And they try to get for one thing when you got these psychologists and all. They always want you to try to unsee stuff. I'm like, I can't unsee that shit. Have you? And you tell them, have you ever experienced this? They're like, no, but their training and shit tells you a certain way. No, I can't. You can't unsee it. You can try to cover it up a little, but you still can't unsee it. I don't give a shit. If you just slaughtered a bunch of cattle in an area and somebody's seen all that, you can't throw blankets on top of the area where all the blood is and expect somebody that they can't see it. Now, of course they see it. You think I can't see it? That image, I'm not going to be able to see it? People see dumb shit all the time. Of course, you should see other stuff. Because certain stuff sticks in the mind. A lot more. Just like those colors, like I said, when they first bring you in with that green, yellow, orange, and all that. Oh, amber alert, red alert. I don't even know what all these alerts are. Believe me, I told you I don't keep up with news. Because somebody was telling me, oh yeah, we're blue today or purple or something. I'm like, purple. I'm like, what the hell is purple? They all purple is high alert. I'm like, they got y'all's dumb ass. And why would they use purple for high? Anybody know? That's the question to the chat before we go on. Why would you use purple for high? Think about it. Grown folks. Think about it in the grown folks way. Don't think about it in a logical way. And you'll figure it out. Why would they use purple for high alert? But let me keep going down. Yep, Derek Bailey with the 1. Y'all sir with the 1. Everybody understand what Eagle's talking about. Then Derek Bailey back with the no. That's right. Derek Bailey said, hell no. Hell to the no, no, no. And then we got the facts coming out here. I see my brother Gil before I get down there. I salute you, Gil. I saw you. Yep. And then Derek Bailey said, yep, they conditioned you. And then Gil Cole, South Eagles Web. He said, I checked the likes. You might be short one. Oh, there we go again. Gil come in telling me, am I short one, Gil? Let me go back in. Gil said I better be short. I better have more than just whoever's in here right now that's participating. And yes, I can't see everybody. Whoever's in here participating, I better at least have one, at minimum of one more than you guys. And then anything over that, it could be over that, but at least one more than who of y'all is in here right now. I should have at least 2 more, at least 2 or 3 more. I was just talking to somebody, so I know they probably, came in just to thumb it up. They might have came in. And I'm trying to tell people to stop by and say what's up to y'all. It's not that they don't like y'all, they just come in and they just hit the damn what's it called? No idea. See. I'm gonna read straight down because I know Gil's in here now, so I gotta read straight down. Derek Bailey salute. He said salute at Gil Coles. He did. Did you hit the like button? Oh yeah. There you go. Cause Gil come here and started this crap, huh? Gil come here and talking about. He said I checked the likes. He said I might be short. So Gil come here talking about shorting, and then that's right, Derek, get him right back. Derek, get him back. Derek said, yeah. Gil, did you make sure you smashed it on the way in? Gil calls at Derek Bailey. What's up, homie? He said, not yet. Oh, he called. So you shorted me. And then Derek Bailey said, no idea. Okay. And then Gil calls with the stupid shit, which is okay. It's just a good guess, but look, it's because grape Kool-Aid is the best. Okay, so if you say something's high, right? So if we look at it simple, we don't make it complicated. We look at something that's high. So when you look at stuff that's high, let's say, for instance, if you was talking about royalty, if you look at stuff that's high, if you look at it this high, then it's going to be, this purple. Purple is royalty. That's high. But they flipped it and changed it into being something to be alerted to. See, purple is saying 2 different things. For you, it's making you panic. But for the people that are of purple, it's making them celebrate that, okay, they're not acknowledging us. So you got to be careful. Because I'm telling you, this is real whether you believe it is or not. You get talked at two different ways at the same time, and you can't get it because that's the way that this language is designed. I'm telling you, you get talked at two different ways, so that's why that purple is up there. It's not because the grape Kool-Aid is the best. Um, Now I got to reflect back. Let me see. I like cherry though, Gil. Neither one of them is flavored by grapes or cherries, but I like the cherry. The black cherry. I like black cherry. I like grape. Grape is way above lemon and lime. Lime is, that used to be the last package when you buy that variety pack. That used to be the last package left in the house, is that lime. Nobody wants to mess with that lime. The green, you drinking that green, or the lemon's good. But see, this is what you do though. So you're smart when you're growing up. You get the punch, that's a good one too. You take the punch, and then you put the lemon one in that. That's good. And you cut the lemons up. Y'all know, hey, when you don't have that soft drink money, cut them lemons up and oranges and put them up in there. A little bit of other fruit, stir that up, ice it down, and then over sugarize that shit. Yeah, that's right. I said sugarize. I use the language I want to. Still grown folks talk, but I still talk my language, my slang or whatever. Y'all can say what you want to. Hey, remember, I'm only a 10, so I can talk like that. So we take the sugarize that shit. You put so much sugar in the bottom, it'd be like that thick. You stirring it like this. You got to stir it like you stir in the kettle with a big old trough full of thick gravy or something. Pour that out. It was so good because then you don't have to finish your whole glass. You can just go get some water because the sugar rush hits you and all that sweetness hits you. So you just take the water and mix some more. So you ain't got to get back in that refrigerator and mess with it. But yeah, look at it though. So I know that might have enlightened y'all a little bit, And I don't like to bring these things out, but I have to. Man, that's my job, is to bring certain stuff out. So just remember that a lot of times we look at stuff and it's two. When they say it's two sides to the story, why would you have that in a language? Think about it. See how simple it is? Why would you have that? I'm going to ask Gil Coles. Yeah, that purple, that's for that COVID or something like that. One of those kind of alerts. We got all kind of, for the fire, we got all kinds of, and and then again, it's more than two sides, because even that stuff alerts certain groups of people. Like, believe me, when you do colors, it's going to alert certain groups of people. If you did a red and black, you'd be talking about eagle right there, because those are my colors, the red and black. Yeah, those are mine. Yeah, that's mine's right there. But like I said, we'll keep it that way. And if somebody's going to be understanding, then you're going to be understanding. If you're not, then you're going to just be not. And because why are we dealing with colors? Why you deal with colors? Is there such thing as of color blindness? Is there such thing as deafness? Is there such thing as of blindness? Who knows colors? You know what I mean? Who knows all that? I'm just looking it up. And it's not really showing it, but I was just using that as a case, because that's what they do. And I'm gonna tell you another thing that they use. And I said the purple, but another one they use, and they use this in the hospital. They use it in the hospital. Another one they use is, and this means life. This means life or death, like right now. That means that you have to drop what you're doing right now in the hospital. If you ever heard of code blue, if you hear code blue in the hospital, that means that it doesn't matter if you come in bleeding to death or whatever. It doesn't matter. That somebody's gonna take them. So believe it or not, that if somebody has a asthma attack, they go to the front of the line in the hospital over somebody who's bleeding to death. Did y'all know that? See? But that's what they hit us with. They hit us with these colors, and colors is a lot of things that see when I say colors, you make it simple. It's not even complicated. Because if I say color, just think about something. If I say color, like this is how simple color is. If I say black, what is your natural response if I say black? If you stayed on that side of black, what would you say? What would you say? If I said white, what would you say? There's two sides to a story, right? And so we always do opposites. So usually if somebody says black, you say white. Somebody says green, you say red. Somebody says purple, you say yellow, right? Somebody says blue, you say orange. You go opposite, right? Why do we do that? Because it's always two ways. It's always at least two ways. There's always two ways. But why is that taught in English? And this should be educational, but at the same time it should be common sense. But why is it two sides to that story? And why is this language set up to where there's two sides? I'm waiting for, if somebody can give me that, we take the next step. Why is there two sides there, Derek Bailey? Why is it two sides to a story? Why is it two sides? Why is it two sides to something when there's only one side? Why do we say it's two sides? Derek Bailey said black also. Yeah, black, there you go. Black is beautiful. There you go. But it's a story. But there you go. But Gil's right too, though. When he put black is beautiful. Black also. So if I say black, then Derek Bailey might say black. But there's two sides to the story, then what somebody's going to say. But this is usually what they say. If somebody says black, what somebody usually says when they say black, they say, what's the opposite of black? And why are you bringing that up? So then okay, so let's go back to the other side. So when you're talking about black, so we go talk about black. Okay, so what's on that side, Derek Bailey, with black? What kind of stories are there with black? And don't be a smart ass or nothing like that, because I know Gil is going to be smart, and I'm going to have to call his ass up and cuss him out. But look, so what kind of stories go with the black side? And then what kind of stories are we going to look at with the white side? Or the yellow side? What kind of stories are we going to get? So we say black is beautiful, but then we say black, but not everybody's not going to say black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. Brown stick around. All the red is dead. All the white is out of sight. All the blue, that's just cool. If you're green, oh, that's just mean, baby. You see what I mean? All the yellow is mellow. See, you grew up like that, huh? All the yellow, they mellow. So yellow, and it's kind of true though. I don't know why it's true, but it just it's true somewhat. Because the yellow people are kind of like mellow people. They like, they don't want no problem on this side. They don't want no problem on that side. You see what I mean? But the actuality for the black, Gil, guess what? The actuality for the black was get back. That's what you learned as a baby. All the black was get back. All the brown, you come back around, stick back, stick around. Yellow, they mellow. The red, they almost dead. The white was always out of sight. And what does that mean? If you look at it, it's like, what the hell? The white is out of sight. What does that mean? What does it mean if it's out of sight? If something's out of sight, then you can't catch up with it. Right? And Derek Bailey say to fit the narrative, there you go. You got to have two sides to fit, to fit narratives. And black, that's right, the worst. Usual. There you go. Usually. But here, let me hit you with this one too, though. So there's two sides of the story. So you have to figure out the one story. And what the one story is the truth. Because no matter what any of us believe, there's only one truth. There's not going to be two. There's not going to be scientific proof and then all theological proof. It's going to be one or the other. If you see the sun out, it's either day or it's not day. If you see the sun out and somebody tell you it's not day, you're going to have a problem with it. Because even though we control a thing called time, we don't control the day. We have to set our time according to the day. Because sometimes our days are longer and sometimes our days are shorter. But we still go by what they call the 24-hour clock. How's that work? Because we can't control day and night. That's already controlled. You see? But why are they giving us stories like that? Wait, it's day. Oh, it's nighttime. That's the worst thing you hear as a kid. If you had to go to bed early, when you're real little and you're looking out the window, you're like, it's time for bed. because your parents are conditioned. You're like, what the hell you mean it's time for bed? I'm looking at the sun. It's not even going down yet. You're all mad and shit looking at your mom all out the corner of your eye like, she don't even know what time it is, man. Looking at her all evil, giving the evil stink eye and shit. I don't want to go to bed. All the other kids is up. They get to come in until you get old enough. And then when you get old enough, you got to come in when the light come on, right? Everybody know that street light come on, have your ass at the house. No matter what nation you're from. Just have your ass home. Okay, so that's the breakdown on that. A lot of people are talking about this whole. I know you guys probably throw some more stuff at me, but it's okay. You can throw it at Eagles like, yeah, what, huh? See, I'm slipping and ducking, I'm blocking, parrying, I'm all over the place, baby. You can't mess with me. I go like that too, and not hitting gloves. I seen you, Ryan. I saw the clip of you. You were real quick though, but I saw the way you was moving them legs and stuff. You throwing them good combinations, but guess what? Tank was just as fast, and Haney was just as fast, but they was using mitts. Oh shit! We ain't about your quickness. It's about your smarts up here. I'm not going to get into none of your stories about it. Because our story and the story here in Eagles Web has shit to do with how fast you think you are or nothing like that. It has a lot to do with your foot position. It has a lot to do with your mentality when you finally get cracked. What will you do? Now, let's break this down. So what happens is a smart person, an intelligent boxer, he takes a punishment. He's like, oh shit. Muhammad Ali used to do that. He said, oh shit, that you hit harder than I thought you did. He said, but you're not gonna hit like that for 15 rounds. All I gotta do is make you spin. And how do I make a person spin? Energy. Because if you throw a shot and you miss, you're gonna waste way more energy than if you land. So Ali stretched way back. He make you look like, see, this a lot of people don't talk about this. Because Ali didn't move. He had the best feet, but he didn't move. He didn't always move his feet, and that was the sucker play. See, the sucker play is for me to have my face all in your face, like, and making you think that you gonna hit me, and all of a sudden. But I know my body. I can actually do the lean back on your ass. I can do the lean back, the Fat Joe on you. I can do the lean back, and so once I do the lean back, and you thought I was in perfect position. Guess what happens with that punch coming hard and fast? Shoo! You just missed me by that much. Now, some people do it differently. Floyd Mayweather was a master at that. Floyd Mayweather make you miss him by half an inch. But guess what? Once you know, your arms and stuff start aching. Fighters don't talk about that after the fight. Now you done missed so many shots. Now your arms is aching. So after the fight, you realize that Mayweather is still cracking you with the same amount of strength. That's why you're not blowing through him like, let me just run through Mayweather. No, he didn't hit that soft. You can't just run through it. Why didn't y'all tell me to drink my tea when it was hot, man? Huh? Y'all let me just go on. Say, Eagle, have a sip of tea. Because we know you're 1,000 miles an hour with the mouthpiece. You know what I mean? It's true. I should have done an announcing or something, huh? Yeah. Gil Cole, see, I expect your intelligence, Gil. I'm only a 10, Gil. So Gil says, what about places where the sun doesn't set for a few months out of the year? You mean like Antarctica? How many people live in Antarctica? Have you ever been to Antarctica? And then are they telling you the truth about Antarctica? Huh? Are they really telling you the truth about Antarctica? Has anybody ever thought about that? Or are they just showing you? Matter of fact, I know that the truth about Antarctica is not true. Because what happens is they actually leaked. Because they have cameras down there that run all day and all night. You know, surveillance cameras. And what happened is when I say leak, you guys know I don't believe in leaks. When somebody that was down there got a hold of it and probably was pissed off like, oh, I thought it was supposed to be dark for 2 months, or I thought it was supposed to be like this. And it wasn't. And they posted the video. Of course they grabbed the video. Don't be telling on us. And you know how you got the running time on them? Man, that's how you know that you got the whole running time for the whole day, or you got the whole running time, and then you can see like, wait a minute. It's supposed to be dark down there right now. No, it's not dark. Now, I was up in Alaska, and I actually was looking, because somebody said, I heard that, it's not really going to get dark. It's only going to get dark for like maybe an hour today. And I was freaked. I was like, oh, really? I've never seen that. And so I actually waited up. I waited. It's like 10 o'clock at night. It wasn't dark. It was like the sun was going down, but it wasn't actually going down. It's like it was actually circling around us like this. And that messes up the whole thing for me when they talk about Earth being round and going around the sun and all that. That kind of messed me up. I'm like, well, if we're going around the sun, then this should never happen. I should never just see the sun all day. Like going around, it disappeared just a little bit and then it come right back. I should never see that. Make more sense if I've seen it, disappear and then come back. But if it doesn't ever disappear, then I have a problem with that. But I'm only a 10, so like I said, the IQ is only 10. You understand? So you can't always, sometimes you got to go places and witness it, for yourself. And it stays dark up there. It gets dark. You're up there in the winter and all that, it's dark up there for sure. So don't think it's not. If they said it's dark, believe me, it stays dark a long time. They got some short days up there, but then in the summer, they got long days. They have real long days. That's the reverse. Because sometimes, matter of fact, I think that it was this year, I believe that they, it was, this year, Alaska had one of the biggest fruits, because sometimes or vegetables, because they have these contests. I don't know if you guys keep up with shit like that, but I used to think it was exciting. Now I think it's kind of weird. It's like, why would you grow stuff that big? Because they're growing, like say for instance, they grow a pumpkin as big as it weighs as much as a horse now. And I remember back when I first started paying attention to that, I remember the biggest pumpkin was like 1,000 pounds or 900 or somewhere around there, maybe 800. But now they're over like 2,000 pounds. Onion, a 5-pound onion. Sometimes they have potatoes, like maybe you might have a 10-pound potato. I'm like, how do you grow stuff like that? And I think one of the biggest vegetables came out of Alaska. And what the guy was explaining is because the extended days. Because the more sun you get as a person or as a plant, the more vitamins and nutrients you get. So if you're a sunbather, I mean, it can hurt you. Some people can hurt you. You can overdo it. Just like with the plants, if they overdo it, they shrivel up. But if you're out there, you're probably going to be healthier than somebody who doesn't get that sun. And that's because you get I didn't take it out, you get that vitamin D. And there's supposed to be many more vitamins and stuff you get there. And then why should places where the sun doesn't, okay, out this year, that's Gil Cole. Gil Cole said Eagles Web, the earth ain't flat. Did anybody hear me mention anything about the earth being flat? Or is Gil hearing shit again? Spherical. See, the thing about it, when people say stuff like that, when they make a statement like that, even if it's my little brother, when they make a statement like that, they've never been around the world. And most people that say that and people that come to my chat know that I never said the world was flat. But I'm never going to say the world is round. Far as the earth, like the earth. I'm not going to say the earth is flat. I'm not going to say it's round. I'm going to say that you don't know the shape of the earth, but I said the earth itself means terrains, if you broke it down. And that is a truthful statement. The word earth is truthful. Because if earth means terrains, why would it be round, Gil? Doesn't make sense. If it means terrains, and that's what I see. If I see mountains, valleys, and I see seas and oceans and stuff like that, those are different terrains. If earth means terrains, then that's what I see. I see different terrains. The name earth, you can't take it away from it. Just like if the word children means the little ones, or means that they have parents, right? The children. Then I can't see it as anything else. If you saying that the earth means that it's a spherical shape, then I have a problem with that. If you're saying it's a flat shape, I have a problem with that, because I can see mountains and hills outside. If you say, if the word comes from the earth, if it comes from whatever the earth is, like the terrains, if that's what it means, then that's what it is. Is a cow shaped like a cow, or is it flat or round? What in nature is really actually round? In nature, is it actually round? Is it oval, or is it almost like spherical? There's nothing that's naturally spherical on this earth. If I'm wrong, let me know. You'll say somebody makes it spherical. Because when you even talk about that, which I'm not the only one to talk about, but when you talk about that, something that's round, then they saying at any point on that earth, so no matter, so you're in the center of the earth and I'm in the center of the earth. If you're on something round, then you're on the center of the earth. So if I'm in Antarctica, then I'm in the center of the earth. If I'm in the center of the earth, then even that knowledge can't make sense. Because if I'm in the center of the earth at all times, then I should have the same amount of sun at all times because I'm in the center. That's not going to make sense to some people. But we was already off of this whole earth. But I said the earth is terrains. I'm not wrong because that's what I see. And that's what you see. The difference being is you listen to what other people say that it is. But even if you look at the Earth model, when you look at all this, they'll tell you that it's CGI. Why is it CGI? If you have somebody way up in space, how come they can't just take a picture of it to show you this round? Why are they using fish-eyed lenses and stuff like that? So I'm not going to fall for that ploy. Is because I go by what I see. I see mountains, I see valleys, I see seas, I see oceans, I see sands, I see deserts. When I travel, that's what I see. I never seen anything round, and I never seen anything flat. So the earth is neither flat nor round. The earth is it has terrains. It just has different terrains. That's all it is. You never seen the road. You never been on a flat road. You never been on the road and then seen it go down actually over into the horizon. You've never witnessed that. You might see it go off into a point, but you never seen it go down. The earth is supposedly every 8,000 meters, the earth goes down 1 meter. So if you're on a road, let's say for instance you're on a road that's flat. Let's say it's flat for so I said, so 8 kilometers, right? So 8 kilometers. Let's say, for instance, you're on the road that's 80 kilometers. You're on the road that's 80 kilometers. That means you shouldn't be, there's no way that you should be able, with a telescope or nothing, there's no way that you should be able to see that whole 80 kilometers out. But they have proven that you can see it. You're not supposed to. Because that terrain, because of the roundness, is supposed to go down 10 meters. How far is 10 meters? 30-something feet. 33 feet. Are you kidding me? 33 feet? 33 point in the third feet down. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you were a block, if you just had to walk 400 meters, 400 meters. Now, if you were walking on a straight line and it was 400 meters, a straight sidewalk, and all of a sudden it dropped down 30 feet, would you see it? If you didn't, you'll probably plummet to your death. You're damn right you'll see it. Then why wouldn't you see it? That's all I'm saying. It's not an argument with me. It's not even an argument because I'm not going to fall into anybody's scenario. I have to go by what I see. Just like when I was talking about the money, I have to go by what I see. It made sense to everybody who was in here until you got in here. Just like when I was talking about the money, I said, if I control all the money, I have all the money, do I ever have to play with the money? Would I put money in the stock market if I was the one that owned all the money? Why would I even put it in the stock market? That's a game. Why would I play a game with something? I'll let you do that because I own all the money. You're going to pay me. If you scale the earth, you can't scale the earth down. I can't look it up. I can't go by stuff that just because somebody says something. I've been in airplanes before. I ain't never seen nothing round. I ain't never seen nothing curved. And I've been up there with the pilot on a clear day, looking way out. It's just that a perspective, the way that our eyes look at stuff, we have a different perspective. The way an eagle looks at something, he has a different perspective. You're not really supposed to be up in the air like that. But since you're up in the air, of course, the way that you see it is going to look different than the way an eagle sees it. Because he's not going to see the bunny as like a bunny or something like that running and the bunny looks flat. No, he can scope it all in. He's getting a whole different perspective. You know, but even when you learn how to do drafting and you learn how to do CAD, computer aided drafting and stuff, then you have to do perspective. When you do blueprints, you have to do certain perspectives. You do the perspective of something from being above. And when you do the perspective of something being above, it kind of looks flat. They never do anything in roundness. Don't you understand that? The architectural design, or the base of any architectural design, is a square. And that's facts. It's not circle. It is square. No matter what you make on this earth, if you're going to start off an architectural design, even if you're making circles, you start off with a square. Terrain is, that's right. There you go, Derek Bay. Derek Bay, understand what I'm saying. The terrain isn't completely flat. Even when you drive, it's not. You're going up and down. You know when your car is going up. When you hear that engine kick on, you know getting damn well you ain't on a flat surface no more. But if the earth was round, wouldn't you always be on the gas? Think about it. Even if you scale it down, you see it. See, people, when you don't scale it, if you scale it down, you see it. See, we can't. Y'all hate Ryan Garcia. Y'all hate Ryan Garcia. Y'all hate him. Think about it. This is round. Think about it. So if you're round, you're either going to always be going down until you get down here. Then what the hell is this about? Then this is gravity here, right? So when you're down here, this is gravity, right? But even if let's say that this is true, the gravity and all that, which is bullshit. If you fall, you just fall. Ain't got shit to do with gravity. What is this? So you should be going either up or you should be going down. If you're on something that's round, you can't never be going flat. You got to see, because it's round. You could never be driving on anything flat. You can't. Because if you squared this off to make roads, what would the earth look like? This is square, then you would have to square this off, and then you would definitely see that, because that's going to be a big drop. It would be square, and then the next road would be square. All this shit would be square. Think about it. You're going. When do you take your foot off the gas on something that's round? How can you ever take? And when you get down here, right? Then you should be able to coast. And then you get here, and then you back on the gas. Now going this way, you got to be on the gas the whole way, all the way back up to here, and still here. You still got to be. And see, even if you look at it like this, you got to be on the gas from here at the bottom. You got to be on the gas past halfway around. You still got to be on the gas here because you're not slanted enough. You still got to be on the gas. So from this part here, it's only a bit. If you look at it from here to here is when you're off the gas. That's just looking at something simple. Yeah, this is scaled down. If it's round, you would never be able to have something this flat. And why they deal with stuff that say 90 degrees? Is 90 degrees flat? Think about it. Even if you did a right triangle, one side, the two sides are flat, right? A, B, and C. You got A here, B, and then you got C, right? And you got that's a Egyptian. The right angle is a right angle triangle is a Egyptian. It's an Egyptian thing. It came from Egypt. When they talk about the right angles and stuff. And they usually, when you study that, they usually give you the 3, 4, and 5, right? That you have to square one side, you square the other side, and whatever you come up with, and that's going to be what they call that angled line, which is called the hypotenuse. That's going to be that, right? So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared, right? That's how you get the 3, 4, 5 triangle, which is the right angle. But if you look at it, all those sides, no matter what you said, even if you make 190 degrees, and you make and then that whole angle, that's 90 degrees, right? That's only 90 degrees, and you put that little slant down there. Each one of those could fit. If you physically had that triangle, you could put it on something that is so-called a 90-degree angle. flat. You can put it on any angle you want to. Even if you took a different type of triangle, you would be able to piece those. If you had a one that they would call 70 degrees, you would still be able to place that other one on it. And you can physically do it. So how's the angles? That's mathematically impossible. That you could do something that's mathematically impossible by putting shapes. Like if the triangle is shaped like this, like at this angle, I can take one that's not at that angle and I can put it there and it still fit flat. How's that work if it's really an angle? Or is that just an illusion? Now that's something that's gonna make you to mess with it. Yeah, it's just terrains, man. I have to go by what the old language says. The old language calls the old language, not English. English hasn't been around that long, but the old language calls the earth a place of terrains. That's what the old language says, and that's what I see. So the old language, the one from the ancestors, to me is the truthful language. And that's why I got into the whole language thing, is why do you have two sides? The reason you have two sides is because you have to have two sides of a debate so you can argue. You have to have an argument. But like I said, there's only going to be one truth. And for me, what's truthful is the old language that says the earth is terrains. And that's what I see. When I look out right now, I can say, okay, there's mountains over there, and then there's hills over there, and there's oceans over there. I can see all that. I say, oh, yeah, it is terrains. It didn't say nothing about the shape. It said it's terrains. So I have to go by that. Now, if you want to say it's round, then okay, it's round with terrains. If it's flat, okay, it's flat with terrains. Because I argue with flat people to say the earth is flat, and I argue with people to say the earth is round. I argue with both of them equally as hard. So if somebody says the earth is flat, I'm going to argue with them. If they say that the earth is round, I'm going to argue with them. Because I'm going by the old language that says the earth is terrains. And it is. It is terrains. So if you're saying the earth is not terrains, it's round, but is the earth terrains? And show me a picture of the earth being round anyway. Not a CGI, but show me a picture of the earth being round, and show me a picture. See, like I can show you a picture of the earth having terrains, but I can't show you a picture of the earth being flat, and I can't show you a picture of the earth being round. So think about that. Now, why is that? How come I can't show you a picture of the earth being flat, and I can't show you a picture of the earth being round? Either one of those I can't, but I can show you a picture of the earth being terrains. Oh, you're talking about the moon? The moon also? I'm not going to go. All I'm going to say is if I stick with the old language, then I'm going to always stick with that, even when it comes to the moon or anything else. I'm going to stick with it, that the moon is a light. It's a night light. Just like you put a night light up in your house, that's what the moon is, a night light. And the sun is a daylight. That's why they call it daylight. They even tell you, but then they dumb you down and change what they say. And they even tell you about nightlight. The moon's a nightlight. They tell you that too. Or they say sunlight. Why are they telling you sunlight? Why are they saying it? So they're giving you one language, but then they're telling you something else. You're getting all these different stories, and you're believing a story that you shouldn't believe. But Ryan Garcia, get your hands up good. If you're going to fight, if Ryan Garcia is going to do all this fighting, and let me say this first, because I don't like this. Because we talked about this. See, we're way ahead. We talked about this like 3 or 4 weeks ago. That we was talking about the Fabulous Four. Okay. So before we even talk about Ryan, let's get this straight. First of all, question to Derek Bailey and whoever else might want to answer this. Y'all, sir, if you in here or somebody new, anybody want to answer this. So the Fabulous Four from the past: Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, and Marvelous Marvin Hagler. All world champions. Now, they're calling Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, Haney, and Garcia. They're calling them the new Fabulous Four. So I would this is what I want. I would like to hear from somebody to tell me which one of those fighters, these four fighters, which one of them is the replacement for any of the other fighters. So tell me who's the new, out of all these four fighters that they're labeling, who's the 2021 Roberto Duran? Who's the 2021 in that weight division? I think they're going by 130s. So who's the new Marvin Hagler? Who's the new Tommy Hearns? And who's the new Sugar Ray Leonard? So Leonard, Hearns, Hagler. So just give me, who's the new four? Hearns, Hagler, Duran, Leonard. So fabulous five. Okay, but I want to know who's the new. The question is, who's the new fabulous four? I mean, no, they are so they're going to label them as the fabulous four. That's the new label, and some of us been around long enough to know that that's bullshit. But I want somebody in here to call it the right way. No, no. Okay, first of all, Derek Bailey, if you say what you said right now, if you say that we can't say because these guys won't fight, then first of all, two sides to the story, right? Then first of all, then we know the truth already, because the Fabulous Four did fight. So if you're the new Fabulous Four, what are they saying about boxing? If you're the new Fabulous Four, what are they telling you about boxing? If you're the new Fabulous Four, but you won't fight, what are they saying about boxing? I'll leave that up for anybody. Anybody can answer that question. But it's already out there. I know. Let me see. I forgot that about. I went up there. Derek Bailey said too early. Okay, so Derek Bailey, you're saying too early, so I can't. It's already out there, brother. I'm sorry. I didn't put. Eagle did not put it out there, so you can't. If it's for you, you say it's too early. But so let's just say it's. The question has to still be answered though, is because they brought up this new case. So there's a new story right now that's the case. So based off of the new case, so we have to deal with this new case. We can't say that they're not ready yet. They're green. No, it's not gonna happen. But you can say what you just said though. That makes sense. What you said that you can't say because these guys they won't fight. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, we can all say that. Yeah, they're not. We know that that's the fact that you're not fighting. But the question being is, then who replaces who? Okay, let's say that they are fighting. But then even if we say they are fighting, we don't know the results. But that's as far as we can go. Let's say that they are fighting. They're scheduled. They're going to fight. Who do you change? Who do you change from one fighter to the? Who do you exchange from being one fighter to the other fighter? Who do you exchange? That's the question. Who do you exchange? Who's the new Tommy Hearns? Oh my goodness! And you believe me, you cannot. I'm gonna put that on trivia too, coming up. We'll do it next week. You cannot replace Tommy for sure, 100% for sure. No, but you can't replace Tommy. Tommy just end up making mistakes a lot of times. Tommy end up gaining too much weight. There's a lot of things went on in Tommy's mind, and I know that it had to. Because Tommy, he used to get too excited sometimes, and I still think I heard somebody talk about it. I think he would have beat Sugar Ray Leonard easy. If it wasn't Sugar Ray Leonard, it was anybody else he would have won. But Sugar Ray Leonard had that other gear. Where Sugar Ray just said, I don't care. Whatever punishments I got to take, I'm getting in there and getting these overhands off on you or something. But who's that one? Who has that fortitude like right now? Who has that fortitude? That's what I'm saying. Who has that? They're damn right they don't have a Tommy, that's for sure. I mean, those guys were already killers. Duran was 71-1. Yeah, when he fought Leonard. Yeah, them guys was killers. Okay, but look at how many they had. So in other words, they might have been getting close to being out of their prime, but they were still known as the killers, the Fabulous Four, right? You got these guys just getting in there. And so now we got a fresh, now we have a fresh Fabulous Four. So if we got a fresh Fabulous Four, then what the hell's going on? If you got a fresh one, we got a fresh Fabulous Four. So who's the new Tommy Hearns? Or do we just take him off the list? Which out of these fighters, which one is the new Sugar Ray Leonard? The Sugar Ray Leonard has speed and some pop too. Did he have a little crack? Who's the new? So you can get maybe close to replacing Sugar Ray Leonard, maybe, but who's the hands of stone? Maybe Tank, right? Maybe, but Tank still ain't even as big as Duran was. I don't know. I don't know if Tank would even. I don't know if he could have messed with somebody like Duran. I'm sorry. Duran had an awkward way of getting hit. Duran was definitely gonna hit you. And I don't want to take away from Hagler. Hagler is probably the one out of all of them. Now you might say Tommy because of stature, but I'm gonna give you some information because we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give you some information about Hagler that you probably ain't gonna know that's Hagler first, but that we'll get some questions because we're gonna have to have definite answers this time, even if I have to give the answer. But who do you replace? You damn sure you can't replace anybody with Hagler. I heard chat rooms where they were saying that that Bud switches from Southpaw to Orthodox better than Hagler did. I don't think so. He couldn't have stood up to Hagler for sure. And I'm going to give you a real reason, not today, but I'm going to give you a real reason why none of these fighters can stand up to Hagler. None of them can stand up to Hagler. I'm going to ask you a simple question about Hagler. First of all, have you ever seen Hagler hurt? Have you ever seen out of Hagler's whole career, which he did acting afterwards in a different language, in Italian, right? How do you speak Italian and do acting in Italian after a long career in boxing with 70-something fights? Explain that to me. Well, you got some people that can't even speak English after 15 fights. We talk about it in a grown way, man. It's just like the reason people leave in Eagles Web, they get mad or they get leave. So some of the topics I talk about or how we start our subject, because I didn't want to start there, Derek Bailey. And whoever else is in here, or if you're new, hit that thumbs up. Because I see you guys coming in now. Please, if you're gonna do any kind of service or listen to me for a few minutes, at least hit my thumbs up before you come in and hit the live button. Then hit that live button. Smash that like button. Yes, he said Shakur can kind of be a Leonard type. See, kind of be a Leonard. Like I said, and you would think that Sugar Ray Leonard would be the hardest one to replace, but he's out of that whole list. He's probably the easiest one to replace. He is. But when I say easy to replace, you still can't replace him. Because that's why you put the kinda. See how our language is, English language? Well, kinda. You can't. And then also, and then Derek Bay said, not that I can remember talking about the Hagler. You ever seen Hagler hurt? Think about it, man. You ever seen any of these fighters hurt? Do they get hurt or dropped? Do these fighters get hurt and dropped and all that? And even out of those four, the Fabulous Four, only one out of four was never hurt, never dropped. That's something else to think about. I'm trying to get thinkers. You know what I mean? I try to get thinkers. A lot of times I get people that get upset rather than to think. And I'm not trying to impose my will on anybody. You think about it. I'm not trying to impose my will. All I said, Derek, is that I go by the old language of like describing what the earth is, because I'm actually here on earth. In every place I have witnessed earth, no matter where, if I witness earth over in Asia, over in Europe, or wherever, any place that I have witnessed the earth has always had different terrains. I've never seen any kind of flatness. I've never even seen kind of roundness. Even in the desert, I don't see flatness because there's dunes. So there's all kinds of dunes, and there's just different. If you ever walked in the desert, it's not flat. It's hot, but it ain't damn sure ain't flat. We say flat, but it's not flat. You're definitely going up. Just think about it. So if you're on the top of the desert, that means you get to go. So your whole track is going to be just downhill. So you can just have a wagon. So there should be a point. Even if you say round and curvedness, there should be a point anywhere on earth. There should be points where you should be able to free fall and just go downhill. You should just be able to go downhill with no kind of motion. Think about it. If you put something on like a 10-degree angle, for a road, that's pretty steep. People don't understand. For a road, that's pretty steep, 10 degrees. And most roads, like the steepest ones, the real steep ones are like 5 degrees. 5 degrees, 6 degrees. But think about it. If you had a 10-degree road, how fast would you go down that road? Would you ever have to touch the gas? You'd be worried about them damn brakes, though, wouldn't you? I guarantee you'd be worried about them brakes. You might not be worried about no gas, but you worry about brakes. Only time I go up and down hills, up and down, is when I go up and down hills. When I see a physical hill coming up, I'm like, oh, we got to go uphill. I can see that. But I've never been to a point on earth where I was able just to go down, where I didn't have to touch the gas. Like, oh shit, I ain't got to touch the gas. We're going on downslope now. We're going down. Shit, where's that point at? They should be scientifically. They should be able to give us a point on Earth where you can just hit a spot. Where you hit that spot, you take your car there, and all of a sudden you should be able to put your car in neutral and just go down. Science should be able to tell us where that point is, and not no mountain. Don't tell me no damn mountain. Of course you can go down in a mountain. You probably, if they make the road the right way, you never have to touch the gas. But just show me that point on Earth where I can just get in my car, put it in neutral, and I'm just glide down. So I should be able to glide down. The Earth is 25,000 miles around. That means for at least 6,000 miles, right? 6,250 miles. So for 6,250 miles, I should just be able to just take my foot off the gas and I shouldn't spend no gas. There should be a point where I can just go down that far. As a matter of fact, further than that, if you think about it, right? Because you're going down. If I'm going down like this, 180 degrees, that's 12,500 miles. I should be able to just go down. Where's that point? We have to have that point on Earth somewhere. Oh, because of the spinning and all that, you can't go. Hey, try to spin something and roll water down off of that. I guarantee that water's going to make it down off of there. Or it's going to sling out into space. No, I don't know. I didn't want to make my brother mad. I don't want to make any of y'all mad or nothing like that. We're just discussing as adults, but I'm just saying. I said what I go by. So I don't have a belief system. I never said I believe anything. I said this is what I go by. I have to go by whatever was left with me. That's what I have to. I have to go off of that rather than go off what somebody else says. Like today, oh, science, they know better. No, I have to go by what was told to me in the past language. So in the past language, if I was told that things are a certain way, that's what I got to go by. I can't change it just because somebody says we got proof, but they never show me proof. If you never show me proof, then I got to go back to whatever they said in the old way. I said, well, I got to go back here. Now, when you show me proof, like somebody, like back in the day, they didn't have electric heaters and stuff. Now I know how those work. Okay, so you got different parts to it. Like you got a rheostat, you got stuff like that. You got more or less a rheostat. You got like an ohm meter or whatever. You got adjustable. What they call those things? Diodes and stuff like that. So you got diodes and you got adjustable. Not thermistors. What's the other one? What's the other one called? Resistors. So you got resistors and stuff like that. And that's how you're able to turn stuff up back in the day before everything was digital. That's how you was able to turn stuff. Is because you had that variable resistor where you turn it one way and it becomes less resistant, and then it lets more current goes through. Then you get more, and then the electricity goes through the coil. You get more heat. Then you turn it down just the opposite way. But now everything they got electronically, so they don't have the same. They don't have that same variable resistors and stuff like that. See, either way is not as dumb. I'm not as dumb as I play to be sometimes, but I just don't. Like I said, I don't try to get all scientific with everybody. It's like, okay, I went to school for all this crap, but how can I apply it? It doesn't apply. I could use it if I want to, but for me, it does. A lot of times, it just don't apply. I'm like, I still got to go by what I was taught, man. I tell my doctor the same thing. He said, "How come you?" He said, "Well, we can work with traditional, along with our science today. If a doctor tells me something like that, then I agree with him." I said, "Yeah, that's true. At least if you're opening up the doors, as far as in the medical community, to go back to, so we can maybe have some traditional, medicines and stuff like that to go along with your new medicines." Yeah, and I agree with something like that. Not that I want to do it the whole way, but at least I come to agreement. Like, okay, at least you're making progress. Because some stuff is just not believable for me. I still my understanding of day is that there's a night before day, which makes sense because you're always asleep before you become awake. Matter of fact, you were sleeping before you probably was sleeping on this earth. You probably was sleeping before you even opened your eyes up to eat. Before you even breastfed, you probably was sleeping. So your eyes are always closed before they're open. They're not open before they close. That wouldn't make sense. It's like I'm sleeping because I'm not learning what I need to learn, but now my eyes are open, so now I'm learning what I need to learn. See, but a lot of people, what's happening, brother, is a lot of people just don't get that. And so they take me wrong. Don't take me wrong because you don't get it. You just don't get it. You just don't get it because you like, oh, I don't want him to suffer because he don't believe this. No, because I don't have a belief. That's what people don't understand. I don't have beliefs. I go by what is understood. I don't have belief. So you don't believe in this. I said, no, I don't believe in anything. Because people ask me what I believe in. Oh, you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God. I know that there's gods that exist. A mere man is a god, so that's nothing to me. I don't look at it like that. So it's like, yeah, I don't believe in him, though. Why would I believe in him? If he got something for me to believe, if you're a God and you got something for me to believe, then I'll believe it. If you have something for me to believe. If you're a God that has nothing for me to believe, then I can't believe you. Because they got so many different gods, like in India, they got all these pictures, they got all these different gods, but I can't believe in you. You don't have nothing for me to believe. You see? But if you have something for me to believe, then I have to believe in at least what you project. I have to believe that. I might not believe you still, but I believe what you just said. And that's why I'm not trying to lead somebody a certain way. And that's why I asked the simple question. We can't even talk about the Ryan Garcia, and why can't we talk about the Ryan Garcia? The reason we can't talk about the Ryan Garcia is because in the Fabulous Four is because anybody in this chat can't even think about who they could replace. And we were supposed to talk about, now I might have to I'm gonna bring this up later. I'm gonna tell you, we'll talk about it a little bit, but I'll bring it up later. So think about this also. As far as I'm gonna give you 2 European fighters. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and Dubois. From our first perception of them, have they lived up to the standard that we thought they were going to, or the status to where we thought they were going to be at today? So that's the question for anybody. Is have they lived up to that, to our expectations, or even to their own expectations? Have they said anything? In other words, have they shown and improved? Have they showed that, oh, this is what I'm going to do, and they've actually done it? Or have we been left like a little bit disappointed? Or which one of them has actually been close? Has any of them been close, or are they living up to the expectation that we want to see? See, I wanted to cover that, but a lot of people, they just don't get it. Because you got to realize that we're taking this train, we're actually taking this journey together with all these fighters, and we're like this, like, oh, yeah, they're going to get it done, they're going to do it. And then we're like, oh, shit, they didn't get it done. Okay, so after you say, oh, shit, they didn't get it done, so where, Derek Bailey, do we go after that? After they didn't get it done, then where do we go now? Because they didn't get it done. Now where do we go now? And I'm not saying bandwagon. Like, I'm not saying that anybody was on the bandwagon, but where do we go next? Do we keep listening? Because remember, we kept talking about this, the language of how you're saying one thing, there's 2 sides to the story. But if both sides of the story is false, then where are we going? We're not hearing nothing from Wilder. Wilder's not getting the fight. Then where are we going then? As far as the heavyweight picture, where are we going? I'm going to tell you something. And hear me out. Deontay Wilder was becoming so popular that he was in a position, and this is my opine, but if you look, I'm just, like I said, I always say my opine, but I like for people to look and pay attention to everything that was being said. Just like I brought up these 3 fighters, like, are they in the place that we need them to be at? But Deontay Wilder was in a position, he was positioning himself to even make the UFC quiet. He was in a position to quiet down the buzz of the UFC. Now, this is the question to you. There you go. Derek Brady said, next batch of fighters. That's a damn shame. When you put them in a batch, think about what a batch is, Derek. When you put their ass in a batch, that's bad. Oh, we got a new batch. We got a new batch coming out. That's like, isn't that like food? But even then, Derek, but you got to feed. If you got a batch of fighters coming up, shouldn't you have a batch of fighters just being fed to somebody? If they just, hey, you just a batch. You like the next batch of pancakes. Oh, you got any more pancakes? No, I got another batch coming up. So they're good to eat. But can you tell me the fight? Derek Bates, so you're the only one that's responding right now. So can you give me the fight? Tell me the fight. Which fight was, which fight had Wilder in a position to where Wilder was quieting down the UFC? Where he just had even the president of the UFC just like, oh shit. Now that's the real deal. I just want to see if anybody knows that fight. Now we can't go back and change anything, and I'm not going to try to go back and change anything. I don't want anything changed. You know, I don't want to change anything, but all I'm trying to do is bring it out to see where, if you guys remember back, you got to remember back to where Wilder was in a position to shut up damn near not just the UFC, but see, I said that, but even on your side of the country, he was at the point where he could shut everybody up, like just shut sports down. Wilder was at that point. He was at that point where he could just shut the sports down, like shut up. You know what I mean? Like shut your ass up. I'm the one. I'm the man. He had got to that point. And what my question is to the chat, does anybody remember the fight? No, I'm talking about Wilder himself, like Deontay Wilder. He was getting to the point. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about on that too. No, but I was saying, what fight was Wilder fighting? Oh yeah, he said the quarterback. Yeah, Brazil. Okay, now I got what you meant. Yeah, so that was Brazil. Around that time, Wilder had got to the point to where all Wilder had to do was blow through a couple of more guys. You know, and anybody, hindsight, what they always say about hindsight. Now, we could always say that. We can always bring up these scenarios and stuff like that. But think about this. We can't reverse it, but just think about it. Wilder didn't get Tyson Fury out of retirement. Didn't motivate him to get back into boxing. Say, F that. I'm going to do what I got to do. Where would all this new fabulous four and everybody else be right now? And this including Earl Spence, the Charlo brothers, everybody. Where would they have to be? Now, we can't change it. Now, we cannot change it. We cannot. We can't change it. But what I'm saying is, and this is out of my opinion, or just your own opinion, there's our own expression. That's our own expression. So your own expression, my expression, whatever. Wilder doesn't bring him out of retirement. Wilder is still just blowing everybody out, just blowing them like, damn. Nobody wants to watch UFC. Nobody wants to necessarily watch other sports. Everybody's going to give him like bigger ups now than they're just trying to downplay him. You see what I mean? Because the value of it. And then what would that? Because right before Wilder lost, if you look at everybody that was talking about that Brazil fight, even to Earl Spence, all of them, everybody was in awe. I mean, everybody was in awe. Think about it. Just go back and you might think about it. Everybody was in awe, like, oh my goodness, this is the new wave of boxing. This is not a batch But this is the new thing in boxing right here. He's the new deal. Think about this. Don't even worry about Fury. This we didn't need another fight because it ended up being something that ended up being controversial anyway. And now we can't even get the third fight. Now, Wilder is still the only fighter that's still capable. Wilder, if you ever come in here and listen to me, Wilder is the only fighter that is capable if his mental is still there. No, the mentality is still there. I'm the bronze bomber. If it's still there, if it's still an inkling of that left, if it's still in there, and he brings it out, Wilder can take over all sports. And that's a bold statement for me to make. That Deontay Wilder, being as awkward styled as he is, can take over the box. Because he already had none of the boxers wanted any part of Wilder. None of them. No matter what they say. Even the lower weights, they was just like, all in all, like, God, they ain't that power. It's just like, yeah, he looked like he was losing, man, but that guy didn't power. All they were saying, oh, that power is real. That's all anybody can say. Oh, that power. That's all they could say. That power is real. But just think about it. Had his course just forget Fury. Just forget Fury. Just left Fury alone. Just kept blowing through everybody. Like I said, somebody would have had to fight him. You can't just keep fighting Ortiz over and over. Just fight everybody, blow them out, do what you got to do. Let everybody hear it, what you're doing, not just see it, but let everybody hear what you're doing. Let them hear how powerful that punch is. Just let them hear it. And just keep doing what you're doing. And that's when I would give him the message, just like Roger Mayweather gave Floyd. Just keep doing what you're doing. Because eventually you would get. Yeah. Even though that was even though that's a play, even though that's not the the actual fight, and the way it looked, but that gives us the idea. You understand what I mean? That gives us the idea where Mr. Wilder could have went, and still possibility because he's not like ancient or nothing like that. Still got that power. Last thing you lose, can still take boxing. And it's because of what you said, though, that made me even bring that up. I probably would have brought it up, but I had to bring it up. And the reason I had to bring that up, Derek Bailey, is because of this whole new Fabulous Four talk and all this with the Ryan Garcia, the Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, and all that, and Loma, whatever. So I had to bring that up because it's like he just silences all of them. He silences the whole boxing community, makes the whole, because he has his own unique personality, just makes everything shut down. To watch that. He was only a step away. But just being helpful, costed him. Yeah, and you're right though, Gil. Wilder can become champ again. But see, the thing about it is that he has to, I don't know, he has to get in there a different way. It can't be WBC. It can, but at the same time, I think what would have been the slickest move is to go beat somebody up while you don't have a belt. Go beat somebody up like a top guy. Just offer him some money. Offer him some good money. Go beat somebody up in the WBA. WBO, IBF. Just go over there and beat somebody up. Or like especially the perfect fight for Wilder, to not get this fight is to just go over and destroy Usyk. In my opinion, yeah, just destroy the shit out of Usyk. Just blow Usyk out the water in just one round. Just knock his ass out the ring in one round because he's on the top in all those organizations. So that means you don't have a belt. That means you're top on everything. So guess what? Now you're mandatory for everything but the WBC. But you still got that WBC shot, right? So yeah, we got to fight. Since we're not fighting, he could have threw a fight in there. You know what I mean? That Usyk fight would have been perfect for him to bring him all the way up to the top, and then it's not really no work. One round of work. One round of work, and I'm still fighting you next. Okay, since you don't want to fight right now because you want to crowd off, I'm going to go fight him real quick. I'm still fighting you. But now I fought you, but I put myself in a position. Now I'm all the way across the board on the top. Now he wouldn't need to fight White. He wouldn't need to fight White because White took one of the KTFOs of the year. You got to remember that. Because remember, White took the KTFO of the year right before what's his name? Not Garcia. Is it Garcia? Or anyway, I got all these, like I said, you guys gotta help me out. Before Tank knocked out, what's it called? Before Tank got the KTFO of the year. No, he can't. No, don't do that. Don't fight White. Yeah, but just think about it, Derek Bailey. Just staying busy, but not just that. Like, okay, I'm gonna still fight you. Just think about this. Wilder, even if Wilder didn't knock out, Wilder could beat Usyk so easy that he could have a fight like 4 weeks after he beat Usyk and be on top. Yeah, there you go, Leo. Because remember the Leo, and I take that back, Leo, because I was teasing you because you were kind of like that at first, where you hold me back and somebody just put their hand up like that and they was able to hold you back. But you showed balls. He showed that he had heart, and he did come. He came to fight. He showed he had heart. So I'm not going. So when somebody got heart like that, you don't knock him. Yeah, he got heart. So I take that. I'm gonna take it all the way back. I ain't no punk. I ain't gonna take it all the way back because you was acting like that at first. You was acting like, oh, hold me back, but there wasn't nobody really holding you and shit. Yeah, but Wilder, but just think about what I'm saying though. There, I don't know if it's making sense to you or not. So if Usyk is #1 everywhere, if Wilder go blow him out, in the meantime waiting on the belt over here, then guess what? He's still in the top 3 over here for WBC, but then he's in the mandatory for all the rest of them. And I don't know what the rules are. You come back and you get a championship. If you get your championship back, do you just, now you can't be ranked anymore? No. If you're already scheduled as a mandatory, y'all tell me the rules on that one. If you're already scheduled as a mandatory fight, let's say for instance he fought and he was scheduled to fight, can you negotiate, and then he still fights Tyson, but can you negotiate your way out? Because take it, he has to win against Tyson Fury first of all, right? So you can't lose all your mandatories. I'm not 100% sure on it. It just don't seem like you should be able to lose all your mandatory opportunities. Because you say for instance, I win. So now mandatory, I say, I want this fight. Okay, so I got a WBC fight coming up. But I do the WBA. I'm saying, okay, so I want that WBA. We're going to fight for the WBA. If one person has it, like Joshua still has them, so I'm going to fight you. So I'm fighting Fury. As a matter of fact, if Fury don't want to fight still, I might be able to squeeze 2 fights in. Now I'm fighting Fury. So I'm fighting you first because I'm mandatory. And you say, okay, might as well get this done. So he beats Joshua after crushing Usyk, and he still got the Tyson Fury fight. I don't know. I'm not the genius when it comes to putting this kind of shit together. I just, bring up the stories. But I'm just saying that if something like that was done, we'll be like, oh shit, yeah, that's good. Do that. You feel me? We'll be like, yeah, okay, do that. That's a good, we like to see that. We want to see good fights anyway. But I don't have no problem with that. Let's see that one. Let's see that one, brother. Let's see them, whoever's it, Al Heyman, come on now. You advising, then let's do something. Let's show why your name is Al. That's all I can say. This is show why your name is Al. Let's show it. Just make a badass money move like that. Just make a badass money move like that in front of us. We're gonna be like, huh? God, we're gonna be like, Al, that's the boy. We're gonna be like, that's the man right there. We're gonna all be in agreement, like, yeah, that's the man right there. Yeah. Oh yeah, Derek Bay said, yeah, that's what people were saying Wilder should do. But I think he was taking the time to heal up. Yeah. Should be healed now, though, right? But he wouldn't even. I don't even know if he had to be 100 though, Derek. I don't know if he had to be 100 to beat Usyk. I think it's just rangefinder time for him and Usyk. I just think it's just like rangefinder, just weight, not even really weight, just like throw everything. Come on, you just throw everything at somebody like Usyk. You just come out first round, just throw everything. You just throw it. Just forget it, man. Just forget. Maybe for him being a heavyweight, I don't know. I'm probably maybe I'm just too mean. I don't know. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Maybe I'm just mean. But I say just come out and bomb his ass out of there. But Fabulous 4 is the Fabulous Knot. You guys ain't the new Fabulous 4. See, I couldn't even really, I can't even really cover Ryan. I can't really take him serious. I can't take him that serious because he's too hyped up. Like, when you want to fight somebody, this shows to me that your ass is scared. When you want to fight somebody, you don't show them what you got. You don't just start there. You don't just like shoe shine out in public because you want to fight somebody. You could be quiet or you could be loud, but you don't do no shit like that. Oh, look at this. I'm going to do shoe shine out. Come on. That's the shit Ali used to do. But when Ali did, he just say, look how fast I am. I dance. I'm pretty. He just tell you what he's going to do, and that's what he was going to do. But he could do other shit, though. But why did he do it? We discussed why he do it a little bit. We covered like real short. It's like, I told you why he did it. Because he has superior head movement. And a superior body movement in this way where most fighters can't fight like that. And where Michael Nunn tried to emulate that style, and he couldn't do it all the way. He ended up getting caught. James Toney caught him. But he used to fight off his... if you go back and look at Michael Nunn, he used to fight off his back foot. He was good, man. I used to love him, though, still. Because he had the style, had the body. A lot of fighters didn't want to fight him. As a matter of fact, he was doing a good job with James Toney, if you go back and look at the fight. Yeah. Derek Baker said, not against Usyk. He said, that dude is food. Yeah, he's food. Yeah, just feed him. That's it. After that, man, feed him. Hey, look, I have no inhibitions about any kind of fight that comes up. Like, if somebody want to throw somebody food, because that's what everybody's asking for right now, Derek. Everybody's asking for the food fights. If Ryan Garcia doesn't fight Tank, then he's a fag. A fighter against good. He's a fag. If he doesn't fight Tank, he's a fighter against the good. Or a fighter against goals. He's a fighter just against it. Straight up fag. He has to be. Because if in almost the same position is Boots Ennis. Boots. Old Bootsy. Ennis, right? But he wants to fight the top guys. They're looking over him. But if he wants to go in there with Bud, I don't care. A lot of people, like a lot of us, are going to say, oh, no, he's a little bit too green. Need to get some more. No. If that's what they want, they're in that business. That's the business that they're in, D to the B. Yeah, Derek Bates said, yeah, Nunn was winning that fight easy. Wasn't it easy? That shit, he made it look, he was making James Toney look like a fool. But James Toney what was his name? What was his nickname? What was James Toney? What was James Toney's nickname? God damn. Huh? Yeah. Who's the champ up in here? What was his nickname? That was always the teller, because just like with Wilder, Bomb Squad, baby. I think that was one of the worst fights that James Toney ever looked in. Besides that first Roy Jones fight, that was one of the worst fights he ever looked in that I've ever seen. Oh, he don't look good in here at all. I was like, damn, that's a bad matchup. Yeah, there you go, lights out. Yeah, I think Boots is that good. Let him fight. Yeah, everybody talking about it, right? If you talking about it, you want to be about it, get your ass in there. Do we have to be on the outside of the ring, Derek? Me, you, and Gil? Shit, that's our new job, Gil. Our new job is getting fighters' ass in the ring. No, get your ass up in there. Hey, we take it back. Hey, we lineal. You know that, Derek. You know we lineal up in here. You know that shit, Gil. We lineal up in here. You know how we do it, right? Huh? I told you all about that shit. That's not the second's job wasn't to make sure that your ass was okay like that. They was okay to get your ass back in there and fight. They drag your ass from the side of the ring. Get your ass up. Only reason they holding you up, they ain't trying to look out for your good. Like, are you okay? You good? Okay, we gonna stop. Hell no. We might have to go back to old school, man. I take one side of the ring, you take the other side. Gil take one side. That's it. No, get your ass back up in there, water. Oh hell no, we picking people up. So I don't care if we got to put, lock them up underneath here like this with their arms on ours and just pull their ass back up them steps. You can carry shit that's heavier than you. If they too heavy, we just carry their ass back in there. I'll call y'all. Hey, Gil, come around and get his ass back up in there. Roll their ass back like they doing wrestling. Get your ass back up in there. Get your ass up in there and let's get it done. That's right. That's right. That's right, Derek. Said, get your ass in the ring. That's how they used to do it. Get your ass up in there. Ain't no climbing out the ring. You better get your ass up. They roll your ass. They do it in the wrestling. I know a lot of people say that wrestling is fake. I knew somebody whose dad actually wrestled and shit. And a lot of that shit that shit ain't fake. He said a lot of that shit ain't fake. He said it was fake. Sometimes it's fake. Like the majority of the time is like even like right now it's more staged. But sometimes because it's kind of scripted. But if they get off script, like one of them get mad to get off script, that's actually you're actually watching somebody fight. And sometimes they go too crazy, but then they start thinking about that paycheck. So that's what happens. Like when they really start fighting, they start thinking about that paycheck, and they say, "Oh shit, we better get back to the script." So you good? We talk to each other in the corner. You good? We can fight afterwards, man. We gotta get this paycheck. But yeah, we gotta put that get your ass back in the ring throw on you to get your ass back in there. But I'm not falling for it, D to the B. I'm not falling for none of the trickery. So I'm not. That's why I'm not trying to discuss it as much. And that's why I try to come up with questions when we talk about it. I say, okay, we'll come up with a question about it. And so I'll ask you guys about it. But I'm not going to sit there and say that something is factual or something like that. I'm not going to say it's factual that that Ryan Garcia is going to fight Tank Nicks or nothing like that. Because for me, I think he's scared and I think he's mouthpiecing. He's just talking a lot of shit. That's what I think it is. I think he's just talking because you don't need to go. If you want to fight, sit down and talk serious. Don't say, "Oh, just sign the contract and get all." You're getting too giddy and getting too. I don't know, man. For me, I don't go for all that. That shit just seems too. Now that shit sounds staged. Man, I can't wait to get you in. That's that old Rocky shit. You know that Rocky and what was his name? Apollo Creed. That's that kind of shit. Nah, if you want to fight, then we're going to get the fight done. But like we said, get your ass in there. Get your ass in there and then fight. That's all that is. Get your ass in there and fight. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for you to get your ass in there and fight. We're not looking for nothing else. Somebody can talk about something else if they want to, but what we're trying to say is not to say, look, son, that's not what we're talking about. We're saying, get your ass in there and fight. That's what we're saying. But they trying to just they trying to talk us into it like, oh shit, that's gonna be good. Get you all excited, you pins and needles and shit. You can't wait. What time the tickets going on sale? When is the pay-per-view? When I gotta get that money in for the pay-per-view? Now you're thinking like that, but at the same time, there ain't really nothing happening. It's all ghost play. Stop that. But I'm used to this kind of talking though. I told you, man. I know what America I live in. People, oh, you hate America? No. It's just it's a title to land. It's a name to land that my people have always possessed. Shit, if I come over your house and I start putting my name on all your furniture, does that rightfully make it your furniture? I got to break stuff down so small because people are just so stupid sometimes. It's like I just get so tired, man. You guys got to know I get tired. I got to go through this all day. because I run into more. Because I'm on both schedules. I'm on both struggles too, though. Because I'm in all the struggles, man. If certain people, like the real people, because I'm in the real people struggle. So it don't matter if you're African American, I'm in your struggle with you too. If you're real, if you're Mexican American, I'm in your struggle too. If you're real, if you're Puerto Rican, I'm in your struggle too. If you're real, because to be honest, you're my people too. You just don't understand it because the Puerto Ricans are actually the Boricuas are actually the Taino Indians. You're still Indians, so that's it. But if you're real, I'm still gonna go with you. If you're real, Derek Bailey, I'm still gonna go with you. It's like if I do something for somebody, I'm gonna make it real. It's gonna come from me. It's gonna come from my culture, or just gonna come from me. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be real. I'm not gonna do some old fake shit. Oh, here, by the way, I'm not that person. Even when I even messed with Christmas and shit, I give you what I could, but I wasn't giving you no BS. It's simple as that. Even a gift or anything I gave you, I didn't just, oh, let me go look in the cabinet and see what I got stale. I know people that do shit like that. Believe me, I grew up like that. I grew up with some people, I'm not going to mention what kind of people they were or nothing like that. But they would give you shit that they had. Like this shit was about to expire. They would give you certain stuff. Like, oh, yeah, I think you would like this. Or smells. I'm like, don't ever give somebody clothes and shit, even if they look nice. Don't ever give them clothes that smell. If you want to give clothes away, throw them shits in the washing machine first. And make sure you use the softener and the best soap. And make sure when you dry it, if you're not going to hang it up, make sure you throw a couple of those bouncies in there. Those Bosses. Bounce. 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 Put some bounces in there. I don't use them. I use the knockoff ones because I don't use them very much. I cut those in half. If I use the regular, the strong ones, I cut them in either half or thirds. Get tired of cutting, so I just get the cheap ones and only use them for certain clothes. Like white stuff, I don't use nothing. On white clothes, I don't use no kind of smeller. No smeller. What about this? I'm thinking I got all messed up with the air fresh softeners. But that's not. They're more than softeners, right? Because I can never find the unscented. Now I would do the unscented with my whites, but I don't like my whites having because a lot of my white stuff is like linen and other stuff that you don't want that shit on. You don't want that shit on your tiles. The one from the dryer, the one from the washing machine is okay if it left a little scent in there, but you don't want that shit from the dryers on your bed and shit and on your towels. You don't want that on there. You don't want no chemicals on your towel when you're wiping your face. Or drying your face. But just to reiterate again though, but Wilder, I stopped caring about him as much, but hopefully he can get back in there and get something done. He's one of those type of persons that I look out for, because here's the deal with it. Is it when I see dirt, then I'm a type of stand up type of person when I see dirt. If something was done dirty to y'all, then I got to stand up. And I know we all even in this social media, even in this new media shit, we've been done dirty. Even the people that deal with me, they still might get done dirty. Some of them have been done dirty to the point they have been banned from me, and I had shit to do with it. To where just because I'm smaller, they would rather not come see me because somebody else said something to them. Oh, you go see him, don't come mess with us. So wow, what'd he do? And then even if it was a rumor or a lie, they'd still believe it. But if you just came talk to me, then you'll understand that this shit's all rumors and all lies. Simple as that. It's simple. Real simple. Because all my people in here know. No, it's all straight to the B to the S. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about those. We might not talk about those 3 fighters again. But we got to look into this story, Derek Bailey. Since we're having the conversation, I don't know who's in here, but we're having the conversation. So we have to look at it. We have to look at the story to where the fighters are that were coming up and coming. And within the last 3 years, What are they doing? Because if we're talking about you 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, what are you doing now? Because you shouldn't go back that far. You shouldn't have to go all the way back 8 years. Because if you go all the way back 8 years, your fighter should be already. He should have been a champ. He should be a multi-champ by now. You know what I mean? But some of the fighters from 3 years, 2 years back, all the talking like Haney's been in there for a while now, so we got to start getting it done. And we got to stop making all the excuses. Yeah. But y'all enjoy your weekend, man. Let me get up out of here, man. Eagles wear boxing up in here, man. My shout out to all the real people that I see. My shout out to all y'all that mess with me. That's right. It's Friday. Y'all know what it is. Yeah. Nothing but blessings. Ha ha. I'm going to catch y'all, man.